Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kevin, and today we're talking about travel hacks that saved me $880 on my 4-day, 3-night trip to Vegas. And that's using perks like FHR or other credits that all stemmed from the American Express Platinum card. So let's get right into it, with the first saving being the $200 yearly credit when booking hotels through FHR or the hotel collection on the American Express portal. For my trip, I stayed at the Bellagio on the Strip in Vegas, which is part of the FHR program, which qualified me to use the $200 credit on my stay. Simple. But since 2020 happened and a lot of people couldn't use their credits to travel, if you renewed your card between April 2020 and March 2021, American Express gave everyone an extra $200 credit if you booked travel, including flights, through their portal. Because my Bellagio stay was booked through the portal anyways, that allowed me to stack both of my credits, totaling $400 off my stay at the Bellagio. With 3 nights being about $500 and getting $400 off, that's like effectively paying only $100 for my 3-night stay. So speaking of the American Express portal, what type of hotels do they have? Well, first, you have the less lucrative hotel collection, which is a group of more than 600 hotels, where if you stay more than 2 nights, you'll get a couple of perks like the $100 experience credit and a room upgrade when it's available. The lack of some perks that existed on the higher end FHR program is what made me not choose properties like Caesar's Palace or Aria that are part of the hotel collection. On the bright side though, the hotel collection is available for anyone with the American Express Gold card too. And about the FHR program, or Fine Hotels and Resorts, that's a collection of over 1,200 hotels around the world and only open to Platinum card members. This is a program that included the Bellagio and had much better perks than the regular hotel collection. So let's break that down. First up, you get early check-in at 12 p.m. noon and late checkout at 4 p.m. Since we got to Vegas a bit late, we weren't able to leverage the early check-in, but can see how it could be really useful if you get somewhere early and you want a room to unpack and unwind. The late checkout was useful though. Because our flight was later in the evening, we were able to sleep in and fit in lunch as well as some exploring before heading back to the hotel, changing and doing any last minute prep before heading out. On the next credit, you get room upgrades whenever they're available. Now, I've seen reports online where people have been getting upgrades to rooms that are upwards of 1,000 square feet or even suites. But maybe I'm just unlucky, or it's with the Bellagio, but all we got was a king room with a fountain view. I mean, I'm not complaining. It was kind of nice to see the fountain and the strip, but it's not really that major of a change. Another minor perk is that you get free Wi-Fi at your stay, but because the Bellagio already included Wi-Fi with all their guest rooms, then we got credited $5 per day for the resort credit instead. Finally, we have the 2 major perks, with the first one being daily breakfast for 2 people. So at the Bellagio and at a lot of other hotels means $30 per person, so $60 per day to use at different restaurants or food places at the property. Although it is breakfast, it's not really limited to a certain time, and you can use it whenever those places are open, usually into the early afternoon. During my stay, this included places like the buffet at the Bellagio, which we didn't end up going to, and Sadel's, which we did go to and had a pretty good brunch selection, to a couple other quick bite places like the Palio or Cafe Gelato. Couple things to note though is that 1, you'll want to charge the amount to your room so the credit could be applied. 2, you don't have to use it all at once. You can spread it among different places at different times. And 3, gratuity isn't included, so you'll still have to be paying that separately. The next major perk would be the $100 experience credit, where during my stay, it was a food and beverage credit that you could use at over 120 MGM restaurants, bars, and lounges, which was so flexible to the point where it took a long time to narrow down and choose where to actually use it. We probably should have looked through the list and booked ahead of time because a lot of the spots weren't available, but we did end up getting a spot at the 1 Michelin star L'Atelier by Joël Robuchon over at the MGM Grand. And I gotta say, it was amazing. We got the seasonal discovery menu, which was $140 each, and included things like the king crab ravioli to frog legs, which does actually taste like chicken, and lobster bisque, quail, duck breast, and some amazing desserts. Yes, the experience credit doesn't nearly cover the entire bill, but it took a big chunk off of it. Although stay tuned, because later in this video, we'll be talking about how you can extend this benefit and get multiple experience credits instead. Alright, so all that combined through the FHR, we got 3 times $60 in breakfast credit, so $180. Adding on the $100 experience credit brings it up to $280. And then adding on the $400 from earlier, that's a total of $680 in savings already. Then the next part of my savings actually comes from the Caesars Rewards program, where my diamond status gives me $100 in celebration dinner every year at one of their participating restaurants. But hold on, you may ask, how do I get from American Express Platinum over to Caesars Diamond? Well, that's through status matching, where some programs will let you bridge over status that you have at other programs into their ecosystem and immediately qualify for higher status or elite status. In my case, American Express Platinum gives you Hilton Gold status, which before the whole 2020 thing gave you status match over to Wyndham Diamond status, which then gives you Caesars Diamond status, which also gives you MGM's M Life Gold status. It's a bit confusing, so I'll link some resources down below that go more into detail, exactly step to step, how this happens. Anyways, given that I didn't stay at a Caesars property like Caesars Palace, I wasn't able to use all the credits, which included things like getting your resort fee waived, which really adds up from $30 to $40 a day. But we did end up using the celebration dinner credit at the Bacchanal buffet, which was delicious, from their seafood bar to carving station and so much more, including their dessert bar. On top of that, to my surprise, we actually had another $100 celebration dinner still on my account, because probably through 2020, when people weren't using it, they extended the ability to use that credit into 2021. So with that credit, we wanted to try and go to Hell's Kitchen, but because we didn't make reservations in advance and they had no space, we ended up going to Nobu instead. So with these $200 celebration dinner credits, that brings our total savings up to the whole $880. And that's not even including the priority access we got at certain places like the buffet that saved us a bunch of time. But I know what you're thinking. Nowadays, how do you get through to Caesars Diamond if Wyndham is no longer accepting status matches, at least temporarily? Well, if you have World of Hyatt Explorer status, you can match over to M Life Gold and then to Caesars Diamond. But if that's not you, you could pick up the Wyndham Rewards Earner Business Credit Card that will automatically give you Diamond Elite status. From there, you can match over to Caesars Diamond, M Life Gold, and through to Hyatt Explorers. The card does come with a $95 annual fee, but if you do plan to go to Vegas even once, it's already worth just the celebration dinner credit itself. Alright, so looking back now, there were some ways that could have gotten me even more value from these cards during my trip. First off is the $100 experience credit from FHR, where if my partner also had an American Express Platinum card, we could have booked 2 separate stays, connected them together, and still got the 2 separate experience credits, so $100 times 2. That, or at the extreme, we could have technically moved hotels every single night, so 3 different hotels, 3 different nights, and claimed the $100 in FHR experience credit at each of those properties. Yes, that's a lot of hotel changing, but it's up to you if that's worth $100 every night. All in all, the American Express Platinum card continues to be one of my best cards, where if you want a deeper breakdown and a full review, check out my video in the top right corner and down below. From travel perks and credits to status matching and other perks, you can get a ton of value from this card if you put in a little bit of work. There's so much opportunity. In fact, there are some other benefits that the card has that came into play here too. From the concierge service that I could have used if we needed help booking a place or finding more info, to the global entry or TSA pre-check to get through airports faster, to car rental status, trip delay, and trip cancellation in case those were needed. And with so much in savings, the Platinum card is definitely a keeper for me. But it could have been better when paired up with a card like the American Express Gold card that would have given me 4 times points back for all the dining I did in Vegas. If you want to know more about that card, up in the corner down below. With this video showing how you can save almost $1,000 in a single trip, hopefully that inspires you to look further into potential savings that you can get when you travel, or view credit card rewards a different way. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and as always, invest safe, spend safe, and see you in the next one.